Is class on? Hello, is anybody there?
I'm just a participant. I'm just waiting as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Brana, they let you out of jail. Very nice. Hi, Brana. Okay. Good morning, everybody. So the reason why we're not doing the regular Torah reading this week, we're not learning about this week's upcoming Parsha, Parshas Nasa, because that's not this week's Torah reading. Except actually, Diane, for you in Israel, it will be.
Right.
All right. So this week we're going to be out of sync with Israel because in Israel, Shavuos is 1 day, and out of Israel, it's 2 days. And because of that, we're going to be out of sync with Israel. They're going to read Parshas Nasa on Shabbos. We are not. But we'll put that aside for a minute. That's a discussion for another time. But this week, on Friday and Thursday night, Friday and Shabbos, is the holiday of Shavuos. So next week, we're going to be learning about Parshas Nasa. Okay? So let's talk about this unknown holiday called Shavuos. Why do I say it's unknown? The reason why I say it's unknown is because the holiday of Pesach is well known. It fits in with American belief. Oh, it's freedom. Sounds good. Freedom. Even though it's not freedom to do whatever you want, it's actually freedom to serve God. But the concept of freedom, people identify with and they celebrate. Sukkot, it's the harvest festival. That sounds good. Earth, love earth, nature, fantastic. Shavuos, what's Shavuos? We celebrate getting the law from God. 613 commandments. Oh, that's not so comfortable. I want to do what I want to do, not what God wants me to do. So that's why Shavuos is very much the unknown holiday. And a lot of times the people, they have a court appearance or something. Your Honor, I have a holiday. What holiday? Shavuos. I never heard of that before. So that's why I call it the unknown holiday. It's not known, but it's a very special holiday. And let's talk about it. So the mindset for it, so Shavuos is the holiday we receive the Torah. The mindset for it is that we'll do just a little section of a prayer that we say every day on page 88 in your hand, the art scroll, 89. So we say, I'm sorry. If you want, we'll wait a little bit, not too long, but a little bit. You got it. Good. So we don't have to wait anymore. We're good. Fine. So toward the end of that paragraph, it says, who acts mercifully, have mercy upon us, and still in our hearts to understand and elucidate, to listen, learn, teach, safeguard, perform, and fulfill the words of the Torah's teaching with love. Enlighten your eyes, enlighten our eyes in your Torah. Attach our hearts to your commandments and unify our hearts to love and fear your name, and may we not feel inner shame for all eternity. So, because we have trusted in your great and awesome name, may we exalt and rejoice in your salvation. So the idea of the command, the Torah is not just to study God's word, which is a virtue in its own right, but actually to integrate it into our lives. So what happened before Shavuos? God went to the nations of the world and asked them, do you want the Torah? And what they said was a legitimate thing. They said, what's in it? And God said to each nation something unique about that nation. God said to the descendants of Esau, don't murder. And they said, well, it doesn't sound like that's for us. Sorry, not for us. It said to the descendants of Yishmael, you want the Torah? What's in it? Don't steal. Sorry. And each nation, God picked one thing that would be challenging for them. Roy, found one thing that would be challenging for them, and they said no. And then the Jewish people were asked, do you want the Torah? And they responded in a very unique way. They said, Na'aseh v'nishma, which means we will do and we will hear. Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will hear. Which means we're going to do it. We'll understand it later. We'll get it later, but we're just here to do whatever you say, Hashem. And Hashem was very impressed. That's a very angelic answer. The angels answered that. And he bestowed a crown, 2 crowns on everybody. For Na'aseh for saying they're going to do it, and Nishma, they will understand it afterwards. So that is the introduction to what happened before the giving of the Torah. So 3 days before, the Jewish people came to Mount Sinai, and God told Moshe that everyone has to prepare to receive the Torah, put a boundary on around Mount Sinai. No one should approach the mountain, and it begins on the 3rd day of the month of Sivan. This year, it begins Monday night, tomorrow night, May 18th. And our final preparation for accepting the Torah, which the best thing is to rededicate ourselves to Torah study. That's the best way to prepare for receiving the Torah, is to rededicate ourselves. Now, this period from Passover to Shavuos, there's a connection between Passover and Shavuos, as I alluded to in the past. The connection is that Pesach we got free, and Shavuos we found out why, in a sense, because we were freed so that to serve God and take the Torah. So there's a counting of the Omer, 49 days from the second night of Passover all the way till holiday of Shavuos, and we count the Omer 49 days. Now, there's something that happened during that period that was very tragic, where the great Rabbi Akiva had 24,000 students. He wasn't raised religious, and he became a great rabbi, and he had 24,000 students, and they didn't give enough honor to each other, and God made them die early. So there's a partial mourning period from the Passover till Shavuos, which we end, if we kept the 33 days, we ended already, and people can take haircuts and get married. Yes, it's a question or a comment? A question or a comment?
Question.
Yes.
Who the 5 that survived, and how they survived of the 24,000?
Because they were deserving of it. That's why.
So they just did hit one hit in the cave?
No, you're mixing up. That's a different story. That's Shem Bayachai, that's Blag Ba'omer, that's something else. It's one of them. All right. So Shavuos, the holiday we receive the Torah. What is the Torah? The Torah is the word of God. Man did not make this up, and no geniuses from other planets, none of that stuff. It's the word of God. And it's the most important document because it tells us how to live our lives. It's the greatest gift. It gives us meaning and purpose in life. It gives us moral clarity in a world which is very confused about what moral clarity is and what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do. People come up with their own fangled things about what is right and wrong. And it is a connection to God because the light of the Torah, God's light, is embedded inside the Torah. When we study it, in fact, that makes us more connected to God. As a matter of fact, there's a powerful saying that it says where I'll use it in a context. There was a fellow named Esas. He was a Russian refusnik who lived in the former Soviet Union and would teach Torah to people. And it had to be secret because the KGB was not in favor of people studying Torah. And what he did was he approached people and said, I'd like to teach you, fellow Jews, I'd like to teach you Torah. He says, well, we have these questions about God. You have to understand, under communism, God is like bad news, They didn't teach it, they made fun of it. And he said, I'll tell you what, you study with me for a few months. And then afterwards, if you have any questions, I'll answer your questions. As people wanted to answer the questions first, he said, no, just study. And they did. And they started studying. And then he came to them and said, a few months ago, you had some questions. Now I don't have any questions. Let's learn. Let's study. So the light of God is embedded in the Torah, and that enhances us and helps us get connected to God just from the light of the Torah within it. What's unique about the Sinai experience is that the entirety of the Jewish people were there, including the souls of the future Jewish people that would be born. And according to some opinions, the souls of the future people that would convert were there as well. And it really justifies creation. We say in the Kiddush, Yom Hashish, and it was the sixth day and God rested, right? And the seventh day rested. Hashishi, the sixth day, is also referring to the sixth day of Sivan. The sixth day of the Hebrew month of Sivan, that today is Rosh Chodesh Sivan, we're starting the month of Sivan. It's referring to the sixth day of Sivan because that justified creation. God created a world not just for, people to do whatever they want to do. He created it so that we should live lofty spiritual lives through living the Torah. And it's like a wedding between God and the Jewish people and the Torah. It's one of the three major holidays. The three Shosh Regalim where the Jewish people went, and if they lived in Israel, went. Hello. Do you flyer? A flyer? The flyer's on the table. You want handouts, and I don't think there's one of these. I don't have an outline. I have to look on what somebody's outline. Okay. So the three major holidays are Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot. Passover, Shavuos is Pentecost, and Sukkot is Tabernacle. And those are the three major holidays, and the Jewish people would go to Jerusalem in Israel and bring sacrifices there to the temple. We don't have that today. We don't have a temple. So it begins on the sixth day of the month of Sivan, which is this year on Thursday night, May 21st. In Israel, it's one day, it's Thursday to Friday night. And out of Israel, it's 2 days. I'm on the second side of the outline. And has several names called Shavuos in the Torah in Exodus 34, because of Shavua means a week, and we count how many weeks?
7.
7 weeks, very good. There's another novel interpretation. Shavuos means weeks. Shavuos, with a different voweling, means vows. So it's a vow of the Jewish people to God and God to the Jewish people. God is our God and we are his people. So we're making a vow through the Torah of having a relationship with God. It's also called Chag HaKatzir, the holiday of cutting, because people would start, in Israel, they would be cutting. And Yom HaBikurim, they would start bringing the new fruits to the temple. I'm sorry?
It's like cutting day to get haircuts.
No, not the day. You don't do it on Shavuos. You do it before Shavuos and on Shavuos.
Was it for fruit, you mean?
Things that were growing, yeah. It's also called Atzeres. You refrain from doing work. And it's called Zman Matan Torah, the time of the giving of the Torah. You have a question?
What's this word Pentecost?
Well, that's an English fancy word for Shavuos. Why? I don't know. We'll look it up.
Penta means 5. That's or something I thought. 50 days, probably.
So why is it called the time of the giving of the Torah, not the time of accepting the Torah? Anyone have a guess? No? Simple Torah is, again, joyous. We accepted it before with the Nasa Nishma.
So it's a receiving like a gift? It's like a gift.
It is a gift. You are correct. An observant Jew. What? No, we accepted it when we said Nasa Nishma.
Because
Also,
the knot was over us.
no. That's not what we accepted it every day. We're accepting the Torah. The giving, that happened once, but the acceptance, that happens all the time. And interestingly enough, there's no exact date in the Torah for when Shavuos is. We know it's 7 weeks after Pesach. Work restrictions: no driving, no work, no turning on and off lights. Similar to Shabbos, with work prohibition, the 39 categories of labor, and some important differences on the weekday. Can cook and bake from as needed from a pre-existing flame, can carry outdoors as needed for the holiday, can kindle a fire from a pre-existing flame. So this year, again, we have that allowance for the first day, but not the second day, because the second day is Shabbos. Thank you.
Oh.
There is a prayer, which we're not going to look up now, on page 654 in your handy article, called Erev Tafshilin, to allow us to cook on Friday for Shabbos. So you start cooking the process on Thursday afternoon before the holiday begins, and you prepare a matzah and an egg, and you say this prayer, which allows you to cook on Friday, on the holiday, for Shabbos. Normally we don't cook on one day for the next day, but now we're allowed to do that with the Erev Tafshilin prayer on page 650. Candle lighting for holiday. Take a look at page 296 in your handy art school. Those of you anybody who is at home, if you have your handy art scroll, that would be helpful to have now. So normally on a regular Shabbos, we make the blessing on 296, 297 on top, which the blessed Hashem who sanctified us with his commandments and has commanded us to kindle the light of Shabbos. But we're not doing that Thursday night because it's holiday. So we do the shaded paragraph, bless you, Hashem, our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and has commanded us to kindle the light of the festival. Does everyone see that?
Yeah.
297, 296.
In the gray part.
In the gray part. Look in the English side, 297. Now, the second night, what are we going to say Friday night?
Oh, we do both? We do
Right, very good. We say to kindle the light of Shabbos and of the festival. Does everyone understand that?
Yeah.
Everyone got it? You know.
So you say a prayer on Friday night.
Friday night, before you light the candles, before sundown, you light the candles, and the blessing you make is for the kindling the light of the Shabbos and festival.
Do we have to have like a 24-hour candle to light from?
If you don't have a stove on that you leave on, then have a 24-hour candle to light from. Yes,
That'd be better.
because you need to have a pre-existing flame.
Yeah.
All right. You also, as we're going to see in a moment, we also say the second blessing, Shechianu, beautiful blessing, one of my favorite blessings. Bless you, Hashem, our King of the universe, who has kept us alive, sustained us, and brought us to this season. All right, that's the second blessing that we make by the candlelight. We're also going to make it by Kiddush. Roy, you have a question?
Say Shem Shabbat and then Shem, why not the other way?
What's more often?
Shabbat.
Ding, ding, ding. That's why Shabbos comes first. Besides that, it's a greater sanctity, but Shabbos comes more often, so we say Shabbos first. You only say that again on Friday night. Thursday night, you just say festival. If there's any questions, feel free to ask, okay?
That's a really beautiful, keeping us alive, sustaining.
I didn't write it, but thank you. I'm glad you liked
I have
it.
a friend that he didn't know much. I took him here once a long time ago, but that's his favorite prayer. He was saying it all the time.
Oh,
To sustain
amazing.
himself when he wasn't.
And there's a nice prayer to say afterwards, after you kindle, but that's not required. That's just a beautiful prayer to say. Okay, so I'm on the outline on I for holiday shaded prayer book. Add blessing of Shechianu, and this year the first night's lighting Thursday night is 7:34 or later. Some people have a custom to light later, but then it has to be from pre-existing flame. This year, the second night's candle is Friday night is at 7:35, as well as Yizkar lamps, because on the second day of Shavuos, we say the prayer of Yizkar. Yizkar is a memorial prayer for loved ones that have passed. And the custom is to have 24-hour candles that we light for in their memory. Why do we light a Yizkor candle? Because when you light a candle, look up here for a second. Whichever way you turn the candle, what's the flame do?
Always goes up.
Always goes up. Even if you turn it upside down, the flame's still going up. I don't recommend it, but that's what it does. Why?
It hurts.
Why? Because the soul is always yearning to be close to God. So Ner Hashem Nishmas Adam, the candle of God, is the soul of a person. We light the candle as memory for the soul, which has an eternal connection to God. A very beautiful idea. Yes, Roy. It says it on the paper, 7:30, before 7:35. 7:35. At or before 7:35, correct.
So on Friday, you don't say, blessed are you, Hashem, our God, King of the universe, was sanctified with commandments, and his command to kindle the lights of Shem.
You do, but look in the shaded part. What does it say? Look, always read the fine print. Your lawyer never told you that. You always have to check the fine print.
Yeah.
Go ahead, read it.
Blessed are you, Hashem, our God, King of the universe, was sanctified with his commandments, and has commanded us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Shabbat
And festival.
right. You're doing the combination. One prayer for both. Yeah, it's it's wholesale. Jews like to buy wholesale. This is wholesale. You're doing one bracha for both Shabbos and a holiday. Why are you breathing so hard? I'm talking. You're breathing. I don't get it. Okay.
know, I got a good question to ask.
Is it
Confusing.
Is it relevant to what we're learning?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
especially when it comes down here to F, one F, two hollows.
Since we're not there yet, why are you asking a
Where are
question
you?
to the part we're not there yet?
Oh,
Dave, wait till we get there. Maybe I'll answer it before you get
Where
there.
are you?
Hey, don't worry about it. Okay, all right. Joy of the holiday, festive holiday meals. We have 2 meals. What? J, Hij. You got it?
Oh, I
J
forgot
and
that.
joy.
I don't have that paper.
No, you have to look on with somebody. That's what I would recommend. I don't have any extra ones. I'm sorry.
you get-
Joy.
You can sit here for the chair here.
No, he wants to do it by heart. Okay. Joy of the holiday, festive holiday meals. That means that we're gonna have a meal Thursday night and Friday morning. And Friday night and Shabbos day after services. Because of Shabbos, we'll have a third meal afterwards in the afternoon. So 2 meals a day, the table set beautifully, wine, challah, fish, meat, or chicken, 1 each night, 1 each day. Kiddush at night, sanctification, go to page 658. 658. I made a mistake, I think. No, I'm not. Okay, so 658, it begins the first night, Thursday night. We're going to say the blessing of a cup of wine, and then there's a second section in 658, and there's going to be 3 choices there of what we say. What insert do we say? Pesach, Shavuos, or Shmini Atzeres and Torah? Which one are we saying? Shavuos, correct. And then we're going to say the Shachiyanu at the end. On Friday night, however, since it's holiday, what are we going to do? Go back 1 page to 656. It doesn't say this on your outline, but so you can write it down. Friday night, we're going to say the Kiddush that starts for Friday night, Yom HaShishi.
Do you have an extra pen?
Turn to me, please, when you're done.
Thank you.
On Friday night, we're going to start with Yom HaShishi, and then we're going to continue with 658 with Bar Piagafen and the interest for Shabbos and for Shavuos. Does everyone understand what I just said?
Say that.
I'll repeat it again. Thursday night, we're starting on page 658 and saying the insert for Shavuos, and then the Shechiyanu on the bottom. Friday night, we're starting on the bottom at 656 with Yom HaShishi, and then we go 658 and say the interest for Shavuos and Shabbos. Does everyone understand what I just said?
Yeah, 6:58 is Thursday night,
What?
and 6:56 is Friday night.
We start 6:56 Friday night, that is correct. It doesn't say it on your outline, just add it in, please. What's the question? Evelina, what's the question?
Ask you because you always.
I'm asking you to help you answer, whatever you'd like, okay? All right, all right.
Thursday 6:58. And Friday 6:57.
Okay, then the custom is to have two challahs. Like every Shabbos, on the holiday, we also have two challahs. We make hamotzi on two challahs. It doesn't have to be challahs, it could be matzah, it could be pitas, whatever you want, but it's nice to have challahs, especially my wife's challah. But in any event,
Two at a time,
you don't eat two at a time.
but you want to have.
You make a blessing on two.
But on a holiday too, right? It's not just Shabbos.
That's what I said, two challahs.
So if you're like by yourself,
Two challahs.
so you need to get like little challah rolls or what?
You can get whatever you want if you
I
want
can't
to.
eat that much bread. Don't want to waste.
So they two challah rolls. I'm not telling you recipes and I'm not telling you how much.
Do we use salt?
Salt, yeah, we always use salt. Whenever you make
And-
hamotzi, you always dip it into salt. Yes.
Then it's honey.
Some people use salt at Rosh Hashanah too with honey, but that's
Salt and honey. That's
relax.
good.
Okay, we're not talking about Rosh Hashanah now. Okay. Grace after meals, page 184. Check it out, please.
$184.
184. So the grace after meals for a meal of bread or challah starts 184, and you go and you. So Friday night you'll add the insert on the bottom 188, but Thursday night and Friday day you'll only add the insert on page 190. It's called Yala V'Yavo, page 190.
Where are we?
190
Oh, for Thursday.
for Thursday night and Friday day.
Okay.
And there you have choices. Is it Rosh Chodesh? Is it Matzahs? Is it Shavuos? Is it Rosh Hashanah? Is it Sukkot? No, we add the insert for Shavuos only. Okay? And then keep on going. You say all this things. Then take a look at the shaded section on page 194. Top of 194, there is the insert for Shabbos that we add, and then there's an insert further down on festivals we add. So there's the first one for Shabbos, that'll be Friday night and Shabbos day, and for Thursday night and Friday day, and for Friday night and Shabbos day, we'll add Harachman Yom Kippur Yom Shekula Tov. Please, the compassion may he cause us to inherit the day that is completely good. So that's the grace after meals.
Today's Rosh Chodesh, so if we were doing it today, we'd be.
Yes, we would add an insert for Rosh Chodesh as well, yes. I'm on the last page of the outline. Shabbos clothing, it's appropriate to dress nicely. It's nice for women to have jewelry. A husband can buy the wife jewelry, and we have special snacks for the kids, yes,
Before we get to the last page, my question is on enjoy the holiday.
yes.
I'm confused. All right. Evidently, we have two meals, special meals, and we have 4 loaves of challah. Because we have 2 loaves at each meal.
Yes,
And
you don't
one
have to
meal's
eat
supposed to be
two.
meat, and one
You
meal's
don't
supposed to
have to eat. You don't have to eat both loaves. You could save one loaf.
No, I understand.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm talking about
3 loaves.
the fact that the holiday is distinguished from a regular
We're
Shabbat.
not up to that yet. You're gonna talk to me
Oh, I
about the
thought
cheese,
that was
right?
it.
Are we talking about the cheese? Is that what you're gonna talk about?
Yeah,
See, I knew you were gonna
meat
talk.
first and then cheese.
No, we don't eat meat first and then cheese. We'll talk about it.
I
Wait,
thought Thursday night we have meat.
Dave,
Okay, all right.
there's an expression.
Yes, I know. Liat.
With that, when we finish, then you can ask the question if I didn't answer it. Yes.
for women probably know, but why do men have to give children special?
Because it's what our sages teach us of what to. It's good for the men to know that. I said it not because the men shouldn't know. I said it that so the men should know, because the idea of joy. The men have good food. The men have joy with good food, and the women have joy with some jewelry, and the kids have joy with snacks. You don't have to do it every Yom Tov, but it's a nice thing to do. You feel better now? You feel good? Okay.
I like white gold.
Here's an interesting.
Okay, all right. No, it's
You
not.
don't have to be
This
reminded.
the sages are teaching us.
I know, because we wouldn't think of it on our own.
Prayers. Okay, prayers. Similar to other major holidays, silent devotions on page 660 with special Shavuos inserts. Take a look at page 660, please.
Okay. 660.
Hi, how are you? All right, so page 660.
We're there.
You have to exercise your fingers. Let's go.
So we only say this one at first, we don't say the other one.
Right, we're gonna accept, there's an exception to that, I'll tell you soon about that. So here's 660 and 662, and then look at 664. 664 again, you have a choice of which holiday you're saying, and we're gonna say the one for Shavuos. Now, if you'll notice, there's brackets for Shabbos inserts. So Friday night and Shabbos day, we're gonna add the Shabbos inserts there in the middle of page 664. Does everyone see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone can't go to shul, they can read this at home?
Yes, you can. And 666 again has the insert for Shavuos, and the bottom over there has the prayer and the insert for Shabbos and the small letters in the brackets. And 668 we continue through 670. All right. We do the evening service a little bit later, Thursday night, so that the 7 weeks are actually over. During the day, we say the complete Hallel, the Psalms of Praise. That's on page 632. You don't have to turn to that now. We say that. We also do a Torah reading. But interestingly enough, before the Torah reading on Shavuos, we read some special things. On the first day, we read the letter of Akdamos. We'll take a look at page 714. The handy art scroll.
So they put the Torah portion right in here? That's nice.
Relax, it's not the Torah portion. I said before the Torah portion.
Oh.
You don't want to work till I take 2 books. Relax.
I thought, God,
So
I got lucky on this one.
No, you didn't get to look. All right. So here's this beautiful prayer on 714 called Akdamos. And it's read with a certain tune. Akdamos milim v'shara Yeshusa avla shakilna harmon Yeshusa. It's written in Aramaic. And what it's about is talking about how great God is, that my favorite line is and notice it goes in the order of the alphabet. The first 2 lines start with Aleph, next 2 with Beis, then Gimel. Very good. So here it says, even if the heavens were parchment and the forests quills, if the earth's inhabitants were scribes and recorders of initial, the glory of the master of the universe and the rule of the earth, I'm sorry, I skipped something. The heavens were parchment, the forests were quills, all the oceans were ink, and every as well as every gathered water. And if the inhabitants were were scribes, we still couldn't finish talking about the greatness of God. It's a very beautiful, beautiful prayer.
You can read. Like speaking?
I don't speak Aramaic, no. That's the Talmud is written in Aramaic. So this is the prayer of Thomas we read before the Torah reading. On the second day, 7:14. That's what I said. You don't have to read it. You don't have to hear it. Just listen to it as the reading goes on. Now, in the synagogue, some different synagogues have different cuts. Sometimes the reader reads 1-2 lines, and then the congregation reads the other 2 lines. But you can just listen to it and read it in English. It's fine. I'm sorry. I just read one little section. So I read one section by Gimel, by the letter Gimel. That's what I read. But
What time of day do they read this usually?
it depends when the services start. You have to know when the services start.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, you have to know when you're coming. Those are 2 different things.
No, but is it Chaprik, Mincha?
By Shavuos.
Okay.
By Shavuos. Okay. What? Okay, so sa is now it's interesting. You notice each line ends with sa or ta, right? See, because that's really part of the other word, shu sa. But what's interesting about it is that the Torah, even though you may have finished the Torah saf, you go straight back to the aleph. We start over again. So that's the symbol of separating the sa there, because the Torah, there's endless amount of knowledge to know. So you finish the saf. Oh, I know it all. No, you don't know it all. Start over from the beginning again.
What are you saying? Where's the olive part?
At the end of each line, it ends with sa or ta. You say it, but it's a nice reminder about this idea.
Does it mean something actually?
Yes, it's part of the Aramaic.
Does it mean something?
Yes, but it's part of the word. It's how the Aramaic words end many times. Now, on the second day, instead of reading this, we're going to read Megillas Rus, the story of Ruth. Evelina, what's your question? You what? But your nose is telling me you have a question. I can't answer it. Okay, you don't want to ask, don't ask. It's up to you. On the second day, we don't read this at Damas, we read the story of Ruth. It's in the back of the stone edition of the Arts of Chumash on page 1269. It's a very beautiful story about a Midianite princess that no, didn't save the Jews. But she even though her husband died and the family lost their wealth.
Moabite, right? She's Moabite.
Moabite, yeah, Moabite, excuse me. Correct. She decided to convert. And she converted to Judaism in great poverty and moved back to the land of Israel with her mother-in-law, Naomi, and eventually married a very prominent rabbi. And she is the mother of royalty. Her descendant was David HaMelech, King David. So that's the story of Ruth on one foot. And that's what we read before the second reading, second Torah reading on Shavuos. So that'll be, so Agdamas is the first reading before the first Torah reading Friday morning, and Rus is the reading before the Torah reading on Shabbos day this year.
That we read this for on people who get converted and they pick up tomorrow.
Well, it's what, in a certain sense, we're all like little converts on Shavuos because we're re-accepting the Torah. That's one reason I talked about it on Shabbos. Also, it also has the power of chesed, of loving kindness. You have a question?
Descendants came back where David was actually fighting.
Okay, you're getting a little ahead of us. Okay.
I remember my mom had this Ruth with a famous quote, which was, "Whither thou goest, goest I, and that God should be my God."
Yes, that's
So
what
I
Ruth
was
said to Naomi. your people are my people, your God is my people. Wherever you will go, I will go, and where you will die, I will die. Like it's a very beautiful, beautiful piece of the story. That's Megillas Esther. You got a different story. That's Purim. Okay. Okay. It's a good story, but a different holiday. That's okay.
They're both good stories. Cool.
Okay. So what's the Torah reading? The first day they're receiving the Torah in Exodus 19. And we read actually what happened on Shavuos morning. That's going to be in Exodus with the 10 Commandments, which, by the way, are not in the United States. They're looked upon as the 10 suggestions, but actually the 10 Commandments. They're not the 10 suggestions. They're the 10 Commandments.
Requests?
So that's what we read the first day. And the second day we read from Deuteronomy. Hey, Dave, Deuteronomy. This is it. Second day. That's when it's read.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 1519. All right. Yiska, we do memorial lamp. The second day is Shavuos. 25-hour candles lit from existing flames Friday late afternoon. And we pledge charity as a merit for our loved ones. Why do we do that? We do that because people who have passed, they cannot do any more mitzvahs. They cannot fulfill any more commandments. They're gone. They're not in this world. This is the world of doing. So we do things in their merit to give them, add more stuff to their spiritual bank accounts by giving charity for worthy Jewish causes.
Can I ask you a technical question?
You just did. What's the next question?
If I get these extra long candles, which I bought, which were these beautiful beeswax candles I got.
Yeah. Go ahead. What about
and I
it?
go for like 3 days or whatever, or more, whatever to 72 hours.
Yeah.
Can I light it from the bitty candle? Would that be the Yisker, or would that? Do I
You
have to buy
could,
separate
if
ones?
you want, if you designate it as a Yiska candle, you can. If you want just to have an extra light in the house, then take other ones to the Yiska candle.
Okay.
All right.
But can I still light from them as from on the holiday? Can I? Still...
Yeah, you could. It's just better to light, from the other one. But
I should do one separate from the Yisker.
yes,
Okay.
that would be ideal.
Okay.
All right, holiday supplemental service, page 674. So, Neshama, you asked me, is this going to be the silent devotion that we do the whole holiday? The answer is yes, with a contingency. When there's the supplemental service, which is called Musaf, that we read after the Torah reading, that we're going to do, that we read 674. So 674 has, again, the inserts that you have for Shavuos, and when we read it on Shabbos, we do inserts for Shabbos as well. You'll see brackets and shaded part that's here, and you see other things for Shavuos. You'll have other things here for Pesach, other things that we skip all that. Sukkos, we're not saying Sukkos at all, and we're just saying Shavuos and Shabbos inserts on Shabbos day, and for Friday day we just say the Shavuos inserts. Yeah.
Yisker only is for every household, or only if you're one?
Okay, so that's a good question. Thank you for asking that. Yiskar is said whenever somebody has lost a relative, a close relative, whenever it was. So, in other words, thank God someone has both parents alive, the custom is that they leave the synagogue. What? Yeah. They leave, but not too far. They're not going home. They're just waiting till the Yisker is over, then they come back in. Okay? But if they don't have parents, or one parent, then they stay in for Yisker. But if a person has both parents, then they do wait outside. Because they don't need to say Yisker. They're not remembering their loved ones. Yes. That's a great question. No, generally not. Generally not. You can get somebody else to say Yisker for them if there's nobody else to say. Yeah, but that's a good question. Yeah.
And just this household, whether you're in this service.
No, Yisker is for
The candle and service the same.
the candle and serve the same. If you Baruch Hashem have everybody alive, then you don't have to light a Yisker candle. Yeah.
For other relatives that passed away.
So you can ask a rabbi to do it for you if your parents are alive. So Again, if you have parents that are not alive, a parent even, there's even one, so you can say for the parent and for any other relatives. But if both parents are alive and you're not going to say Yiska, then get somebody else to say Yiska for those people. Is that clear? Yeah.
Section I is handwriting. It was a little confusing. I thought, oh, does everybody have to do Yiska? No, it's only those people.
Candlelighting is for everybody, for Yom Tov. The Yiska lamp is only for the people that are saying Yiska. Okay, thank you for pointing it out. Does she have parents? No. I'm saying if both her parents are alive, if her father and mother are alive, then she wouldn't say Yiska, then someone else should say Yiska. But if she's missing a parent, then she could say it for other people as well. I mean, I have a whole list of people that I say Yiska for, because I lost, unfortunately, my parents, my brother, my sister, and then there's extended relatives and rabbis that I was close to, etc. And so,
Is it okay to say Yiska for like a non-Jewish relative or parent, you would say?
you could say Yiska. I don't know how you're going to say the name, but yeah, you could. But generally, so that's what we say when we say Yitzka. All right. Now, toward the end of the supplemental service, the priestly blessings take place, where the priests come up, the Kohanim come to the front of the synagogue and make a blessing and bless the congregation. The custom is for them, everyone to be under, the men to be under a talus, and people who are not married or women not to look at when they gave the blessing. And at the conclusion of the holiday, the regular Shabbos holiday, we say regular Havdalah for Shabbos, because it's not only for Yom Tov, it's for Shabbos. So we have spices and candles. Normally after a holiday, we don't say those things. But now we do, because it is, it's a Shabbos also. All right, let's see some of the customs. Decorate our home and synagogues with greens, branches, and flowers, because Mount Sinai bloomed before God gave the Torah. So that's why that's the custom we have, greens and flowers. There's a custom, not a law, that we stay up all night studying Torah Thursday night. And there's flyers on the table there that tell you what the schedule of the speakers we have for learning, and people learn on their own sometimes. But you don't have to, but if you do stay up all night, then services are at dawn, earlier. And if you don't, then the services are at regular time. Here at JLE, we used to have 2 minyan, and we don't have enough people to do 2 minyan. Too many people staying up all night. So we only have the dawn one on Friday morning. But Thursday will be regular day. There's a custom which is different than all holidays, that we eat dairy on Shavuos. How we eat dairy, I'm going to talk about it in a moment, but it's an interesting idea. Why do we eat dairy? So one reason is because when the Jewish people got the laws of the Torah, knowing how to sacrifice and keep kosher became much more complicated. You have to know how to ritually slaughter something that has to be taught. So they ate dairy initially. Another answer is the word chalav is spelled ches lamed veis. The numerical value of that is 40. Chalav milk is 40. And what's 40? Significant? Anybody?
40 years in the desert?
No, close. Moshe went up to Mount Sinai to get the Torah.
40 days.
And he spent 40 days and 40 nights to study. So it's a popular number, yes. So it's 40 days and 40 nights. So now what some people do, also there's another reason, is because the Torah alludes to not eating milk and meat together, but the oral tradition helps us explain exactly what the laws are, what and how. So we want to show that we're accepting not only the written Torah, but the oral Torah as well. And therefore we eat some dairy. Now, some people make a complete meal just with dairy. That's what some people do. Others do, which is they start the meal with milk, and they take a little break, and then they continue the meal with meat. So either way, having some dairy on Shavuos is a nice thing. Yes?
dairy, it's particularly this year too, dairy is only per day one usually on Shavuos, or if it was a non-Shabbat year, we always.
It depends. Different people, different customs. Like I said, what we do is we make kiddush and have some dairy, and then when we wash, we have a meat. So, but you can eat meat pretty close to after you have dairy. You have to wait half an hour or rinse out your mouth. But once you eat meat, you can't have dairy afterwards for 6 hours. So
hard cheese is an exception, right?
there is hard cheese is an exception. We'd have to wait 6 hours for that too. So don't eat hard cheese if you want to eat meat afterwards. Yes.
I know there's a lot of different customs with the owner, but at what point, you want to start listening to music about now?
Well, it depends what you did for what your custom was for the owner. If you kept all the days, then you can do it 3 days before it's time for Monday night. But if you didn't, if you're keeping, then you need to wait till Shavuos.
I thought after Lag BaOmer you could.
Yeah.
The different customs. That's what we said.
Can
All right.
Can I ask a question?
You just did. What's another question?
I always think of dairy versus meat is like we're like pure receiving, like we receive Torah. So to me, the symbolism is receiving like the milk is like, you know, like you're being fed from what
You're
you're
being
receiving.
nourished.
Yeah, nourished. You don't have to check. You don't have to do anything.
No.
It's just kind of receiving. And so I feel like it's more of the receiving mode, like Kabbalah or whatever. You're kind of receiving the Torah from Sinai, from Hashem. That it's sort of a receiving mode.
Nice. No,
You like it?
I'm not familiar with that. But
That's my own. Maybe it's my
Okay.
own.
All right, your own thought. All right. So, any questions, thoughts, comments? Yes, Roy.
Meals for Shabbos.
You have to do many meals for Shabbos? 3. If it doesn't be meat, it could be chicken, fish and chicken. We do that.
But we don't do.
Again, some people do. It's you know, in honor of Shavuos, but I recommend doing chicken and meat on Shabbos for sure.
Is
But
it
even
okay to have fish with dairy?
yeah, and you have fish with meat as well. You just separate the two. Yeah.
Rabbi, a couple quick
Yeah.
questions.
OUD is fine, right?
Fish with dairy.
For what?
For dairy, but someone told me about falafel grill and this is the only one we're supposed to eat.
Okay, so Chol Yisrael is a separate discussion. Not everybody keeps Chol Yisrael in the United States, and you can use OUD. It's fine. I don't eat OUD because it's not Chol Yisrael usually, but it's allowed. Chol Yisrael. It's a separate discussion. What that is, another discussion. Questions about the holiday?
Yes, Rabbi. Online.
Yes.
Yes, a quick one. Just clarifying, the all-night learning session is on Thursday after the meal, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then the dairy meal is, or the dairy portion is on Friday morning or Friday day.
It depends on what you're eating. Are you coming to us?
I'm coming to you one of the days, but I'm not
Okay.
sure which one it is.
You're going to let us know, right?
Yes, of course.
No surprises, right? Okay, fine. In any event, so the different people do different things. Some people eat dairy, some people eat dairy the next day. It depends when, what, and where.
Okay, all right. I need to clarify that with my.
All right. So again, you find out who you're hanging out with, which meal, and then you'll find out whether they're doing dairy or meat or both. Yes.
Okay.
How come I remember early in the morning?
I don't know.
Reading
Oh.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel?
Am I wrong?
I don't know. We'll have to look at a Chumash and see what the Haftorah is about. But that's not the regular reading. The regular reading is the Torah reading. Then there's a Haftorah reading. That might be Ezekiel. I have to see the Chumash. I don't remember by heart what the reading from the prophets is. Questions? Going once, twice? 3 times. Going once. Sold to Dave. Okay. All right. We're going to have the Prayer B'Kibbutz 2 class now. Everyone have a very happy and healthy holiday. And you have any questions, you can call me. If you didn't ask the questions yet.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Rabbi
They have a very
Czapnik.
happy and kosher and wonderful Pesach.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Shavuos.
Shavuos too.
Next one is only half an hour. Take care, Brianna. All the best.
What are we buying tickets for?
We're not. It's for the people who come on time to the first class. That's what that's for.
Is
What
this
are they get?
It's a raffle for getting wine. Take care. All the best. Have a good Shavuos.